I'm here to remind y'all that we still fighting the battle of Earth, and this battle is talking about chemtrails. Chemtrails are their main weapon.
Know that chemtrails actually exist?
Wait, what?
Yes, there are aircraft that were specifically built to spray chemicals, and the pilots even get paid per spraying application. Don't believe it? Then look what we have here. It's the all-famous AT-AO2 air tractor built in the USA and comes, if ordered, with a chemical spraying applicator fitted at the trailing edge of its wing and then flies at very low levels over crop fields to kill pesticides. It sprays chemicals from the trailing edge of the wing. There you have your chemtrails, which are on our flat Earth.
Wait, what?
Now you know, hit the like button and follow for more aviation facts every day. Did you know?
You see what I'm talking about? Chemtrails, they lay up high altitude in the sky. They start off as trails, little thin trails, then they spread and stay like sheets covered across the sky for hours, up to 8 hours or more. And if there's already clouds out there, it will seed into the clouds and make it rain. It increase the percentage of the rain. That's why you wake up in the morning every day, instead of that street just shiny dry, it's shiny wet. Water everywhere. You see that ground? That ground is not even dry. It looks molded. It's been wet and not properly dried by the sun. Because you have your government spraying chemtrails continuously. They're doing this all the way over there in France and Europe. It seems like they started over there first. And of course, America is learning from them.
Hi, my name is Alina, and I would like to give you a few reasons why you should consider dating a young Slavic.
They are part of our everyday sky, the white lines known as contrails that follow airplanes above.
This video is 5 years ago. A lot of these videos are like 5 to 10 years
but to conspiracy theorists,
show you how long
something much
they've been
more
talking about
sinister.
this. There's nothing new about
Spokane
this.
City Council member Mike Fagan is raising some eyebrows after suggesting that
this has
airplanes,
already
even
been,
those above our city, could
it's
be
already
spraying
been
chemicals
told.
on a regular
So
basis
I'm not the
to
first one to
control
tell it.
our
I'm
climate.
just helping tell it. I'm spreading it. It's already been told. Even though I don't need nobody to tell me, because all I gotta do is look up in the sky.
Well, Nadine, this chemtrail conspiracy is a popular one. It's been circling the web for years, and we don't normally report on topics like this, but it's hard not to when they're brought up in city council meetings.
I think that they're just vapors off of an airplane, you know. Councilman should probably do his research a little bit.
Tonight, reaction around the city about comments made by Spokane City Council member Mike Fagan on Monday while discussing climate change.
Could it be that the U.S. government, as well as multinational
all I have to say is,
engage in SRM or solar radiation management? We already heard a little bit about
humans need to change what IQ means.
Fagan suggesting that the white lines we see in the sky could be a secret attempt by our government and other corporations to control the Earth's climate. The EPA, NASA, and NOAA say these lines in the sky are no more than water vapor found in aircraft exhaust, condensed in the negative 40-degree temperatures planes typically cruise in. But Fagan offered his own explanation in an interview with the spokesman review. Fagan said, quote, "What I would like to do is issue a challenge to the citizens out there. If they see an airplane in high atmosphere, watch the airplane's activities for a while. You're going to see a trail come down out of that airplane that dissipates and enlarges itself, floating back down to the ground. Then what happens?" Today, around the Lilac City, people weighed in.
If you want to say that kind of stuff and be willing to stand up for it, that's fine. And I think it's foolish.
No, it's nothing secretive. It's a byproduct of jet fuel.
I don't think it's going to harm us. We got worse to worry about.
And we reached out to Councilman Fagan for an interview this afternoon, but he was unavailable to provide any comments. Reporting live on the Sky Deck, Kyle Simchuk, KXLY 4 News.
This video right here.
The record number of fires burning across Brazil's Amazon rainforest has prompted renewed global outcry over climate change and big spending. $5 million from Leonardo DiCaprio, £10 million from the UK. Meanwhile, Bill Gates is backing the first high-altitude experiment of one radical climate change solution, creating a massive chemical cloud that could cool the Earth. It's called solar geoengineering, and it's highly controversial.
There you have it.
How long will it be that countries keep experiencing these climate impacts before someone gets desperate and says, hey, we need to cool the planet with solar geoengineering?
This right here.
It would look something like this. Thousands of planes would fly very high and use nozzles to inject millions of tons of light-reflecting particles into the stratosphere. It would create a thin chemical cloud of those particles around the whole planet, blocking some sunlight from reaching the surface. It would mimic a giant volcanic eruption, which we know cools the Earth.
This is their main weapon.
Back in 1991, Mount Pinatubo erupted in the Philippines. It was the largest eruption to affect a densely populated area, creating avalanches and giant mud flows that left more than 700 dead and 30,000 homeless. It also spewed a cloud of 20 million tons of sulfur dioxide particles into the stratosphere. That chemical cloud was hundreds of miles across and reflected about 2% of sunlight back to space. And in 1992, the Earth was cooler than in 1991.
That is part of the mechanism, but you do this in a controlled way.
Modeling studies have found that it could reduce the intensity of heat waves, for instance. Apparently it could reduce the rate of sea level rise. It could reduce the intensity of tropical storms.
But it also comes with significant risks and uncertainties.
Things like mass famine, mass flooding, drought, of kinds that will affect very large populations.
It could weaken monsoons in India, China, and Africa enough to affect crops. It could eradicate blue sky.
You start increasing the amount of diffuse light and you have less direct light, which is the same thing as saying it looks hazy and white.
And if the global community decides it should stop,
so you stop injecting it, and after a year, the cloud is gone, you get this rapid warming at a rate much faster than you would get if we had done nothing. If you've taken out the greenhouse gases that are adding to the warming, then the temperature won't go up, it'll stay what it is. So if we don't stop emitting greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, we don't try as hard as we can to do that, then there's no point in doing solar geoengineering.
A 2016 opinion poll conducted by the Harvard group doing solar geoengineering research found that 67% of subjects support its use. One reason this technology is appealing, it's cheap. One study estimated it would cost an average of $2.25 billion globally every year for the first 15 years of deployment. Compare that to the $500 billion the U.S. government estimates it will cost just the U.S. by 2100 if no action is taken against climate change. Or the $1.6 to $3.8 trillion projected global spending by 2050.
You wonder why the government is being very quiet, because this is what he's doing. It's where all the money's going to. You see this? You see all this investments? $3.8 trillion. That's one of the investments.
Low carbon energy production. You can also compare it to direct air carbon capturing, another climate change solution backed by Bill Gates and by Big Oil. It involves...
I'm not going to watch that whole one. This is all about chemtrails. We'll keep it chemtrail.
All right, so you're going to tap right here on the forehead, go down to your C7. Then a bulge right here, and you're going to breathe in through the nose.
Airlines. It is time now for Truth or Fake, our daily fact-checking segment. I'm joined by James Creedon. Hi there, James. Now, you've been looking at one concrete example of where chemtrails are proven to be false. Tell us, what is a chemtrail to begin with?
All right. Well, if you look into Google Images, you see pictures of them everywhere. Let's take a look at this collection of lovely photos of chemtrails. Can we see those images? I'm not sure if we can. That's... Okay, so in any case, I'm not sure we're having a little bit of connectivity problems, but chemtrails, look, just to explain it, contrails, it's the vapor that comes out of the back of an airplane, contrail, and for years now there's been this theory that it's not just vapor, it's chemicals, hence the word chemtrails.
That's exactly
right? So
what
there we go. Now see the pictures that we see. It's what you see in the sky when an airplane has gone by. But people will say, all right, contrails disappear quicker. These chemtrails are far too regular. They last too long. You have straight lines like this. What's going on here? Is this how air traffic normally flows? Right. So that's the birth of the conspiracy theory, if you like, that something is suspicious is going on above our heads. Now there have been lots of studies into this. But first of all, let me show you examples of where it's just bonkers, some of the stuff going around online. This is Angela Merkel and various others standing along with all of these, standing alongside all of these canisters in what this particular internet user, according to AFP's fact-checking service, a year ago now said was clear proof of chemtrails, and that our masters, if you like, are aware of this, and we're being sprayed, we're being poisoned, right? In fact, these are water canisters used to balance.
Look at it. Look at it. Now America's doing it. Planes, people think these are regular airplanes with passenger planes flying with people. No, these planes are flying with tanks of gas, chemicals, military tanks. This is war. War, war, war. War against the sun. War against us.
Out an aeroplane during test flights, right? So that's just one example of where the theories that are flying around are completely disconnected from reality. It's also presumed that pilots are...
Now look, pilot switch. This is more proof. Chemtrails, on, off, start. Where you see contrails at, guys? Faggots want to hide the truth. Want to argue with people like me, the warriors. Where you see contrail switch at, huh? It's not a dark-skinned, melanated African guy. Talking about it. No, man, this is a European talking about it. Not a melanated Caucasian talking about it. Not me.
Implicit in this, and the pilots are hitting the button.
Yeah, because his accent is English. Yeah, England, European. Because that's where they really doing it heavy over there. A lot of city over there. This guy stay gray over there. You play the damn video game. Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs Legions 2. The sky's mostly damn gray. Even the game got
releasing the chemtrails, poisoning us all. One airline pilot in 2015 put this up online. You can see here, chemtrails, right? So that was photoshopped. He asked his friend to do that. And what happened was, in fact, the original image was this APU, which I believe means, if I can find the actual reference, I can't.
Autopilot? I don't know. I'm just guessing.
I've lost it. Anyway, trust me, it's just some air propulsion unit or something like that. That's it, actually. So it was just a gag. He shared it on Facebook, and then it went viral. Some of his friends believed it. They were like, oh, clearly this is proof that the pilots are spraying us with chemtrails. Anyway, this is one study by the New Scientist. They going back to 2016, I believe. Now they're relaying a study rather by the University of California at Irvine and also the Carnegie Institute. They surveyed hundreds of experts in contrails. 77 scientists replied back. 76 of them said there's no evidence at all of a secret large-scale atmospheric program, SLAP, S-L-A-P. One dissented and said, look, there are very high levels of barium in the soil in these areas where there's very few flights. This is weird. But basically, he didn't in any way confirm that the theory is real. He just had some doubts, right? One of the 77 scientists who replied. So look, that's by way of scientific, like where did the scientists stand on it? Anyway, we have a concrete example that was proven by our observers team to be false in the last couple of days. Let's take a look at this with Catherine Bennett.
There you have it. Look at that chemtrail. That's how they spray the cloud. That's a cloud. That's what's blocking our sky.
Pilot accidentally releases a chemtrail while he's still in the airport. Hello to everyone who still thinks that chemtrails are just trails of condensation.
Actually, he's pushed the switch.
This person posted this video on Facebook in September, saying that it shows a chemtrail streaming out of the back of a plane that's still by the airport gate. The video was seen thousands of times on Facebook, Twitter, and on the Russian social media platform VK. So what are chemtrails?
What are we doing?
Well, you know the white trails that planes leave behind them in the sky.
Consuming.
The chemtrail...
Football celebrated, consuming. Basketball, money, not the real fight. We get on TikTok, we get on YouTube, Talk about sports, money, cars, show off, just to get another better place in the financial world. That's what we come to, is what Africans come to, huh? That's why I respect people like Dr. Umar Johnson. You know what I mean? Real warriors. People don't get respect to the people who's fighting the war. Only get respect to people who just running their damn mouth. Talking about what we can do. Now, forget talking about what we could do. Let's talk about what we need to do, what we gonna do, what's going on, what's happening to us.
Conspiracy theory says that those white trails are made up of toxic chemicals. And governments are putting these chemicals into the atmosphere to change the weather and even to control the population. Now let's go back to the video. If you look at the tail of the plane, you can see the red logo of Japan Airlines. On another, better quality version of the video, we can also see the aircraft's registration number, JA8985. That can tell us where the plane's from and even the flights it's done.
I'm done with that part. I'm not even, you know what I mean?
But when and where was this video filmed? With a reverse image search, we found the video on this Japanese YouTube channel, so we know it was filmed in 2016 or before. We also know that this particular aircraft stopped at Tokyo Haneda International Airport in 2016, according to the plane's flight log, which you can find online. And if we look at photos of the airport on Google, we find this photo, taken from inside the terminal, which shows exactly the same view.
Yeah, of course.
So we know where the video was filmed and that it dates back to at least 2016. But what's the deal with all the smoke? We spoke to Bertrand Villemey, the CEO of the French National Council of Legal Experts in Aeronautics and Space, to ask him what's happening in the video.
People ain't saying nothing about it.
Cette vidéo montre ce qui s'échappe d'une tuyère de l'APU, c'est l'auxiliary power unit, qui est une petite turbine qui est à l'arrière de l'appareil. Et ces échappements de fumée sont soit dus à une injection d'huile qui est liée dans le moteur par mégarde, soit à un traitement qui est fait lors de l'entretien de l'appareil.
Japan Airlines told us that there was no incident reported at the time. And they also told fact-checkers at the Belgian media, DPA, that it was possible that there had been a minor technical fault in the turbine engine.
To a certain limit.
So the video doesn't show a chemtrail, but a fairly common sight of smoke coming out of the exhaust of the APU in a Japanese airplane.
Y'all just intelligent to base all the information on data.
That's just one example, Tom, of the many pieces of false information that are floating around in that cloud of chemtrail theories and conspiracy theories online. It's huge. It's one of the biggest theories, conspiracy theories that's floating around the web. Yeah.
Okay, wasn't aware.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, buddy. But anyway, yeah. I'm trying to tell you guys, but yeah. And gals, understand me or what, but yeah. Where that part, where Prince even talks about it. That's the last one.
What exactly is the chemtrails conspiracy? I'm Steve Vasquez for Uprocks, and you've probably noticed these white streaks in the sky. They are clouds of water vapor that form when warm exhaust of a plane's engine encounters cold temperatures in the upper atmosphere. But some people think there's a lot to the story. Conspiracy theorists call these chemtrails and believe the government is spraying chemicals into the atmosphere in order to control the weather and population, a practice they call geoengineering. Many theorists cite the sudden appearance and disappearance of these trails as proof that something is going on.
I mean, you'll see a plane
all that money, all them airplanes. And then all of a sudden they do this all night.
However, scientists overwhelmingly agree there's no substance to the theory and that these condensation trails appear and disappear based on the moisture content of the air.
Because the atmosphere is fairly dry, the streak is shorter and it disappears.
But believers say the theory explains a lot, like increases in violence, and followers even include celebrities like Prince, who spoke about the theory in a 2009 interview.
You know, when I was a kid, I used to see these trails in the sky all the time, and say, oh, that's cool. A jet just went over. And then you started to see a whole bunch of them. And next thing you know, everybody in your neighborhood was fighting and arguing, and you didn't know why. Okay, and you really didn't know why. I mean, everybody was fighting.
And Kylie Jenner famously tweeted out an image speculating,
fighting.
Cool, a jet.
People can't think.
These trails,
people turn corrupt.
You know, when I was a kid, I used to see these trails in the sky, all the time. And
rest in power,
so
Prince.
that's
You
cool.
with me?
A jet just went over.
Live through me.
And then you started to see a whole bunch of them. And next thing you know, everybody in your neighborhood was fighting and arguing and you didn't know why. Okay? And you really didn't know why. I mean, everybody was fighting.
And Kylie Jenner famously tweeted out an image speculating that chemtrails might have something to do with the population decline in honeybees. The theories persist in large part because they spread online.
Listen to Prince.
With so much information out there, conspiracy theories are bound to gain traction.
Who's y'all main boss? Listen to TV.
I'm Steve Vasquez, and you're watching Up.
I ain't saying it. I ain't just saying it.
All the time.
I'm gonna let Prince tell y'all.
A theory in a 2009 interview.
Like Prince said.
You know, when I was a kid, I used to see
albums.
these trails in the sky
albums
all the time. And so that's cool. A jet
Everybody talk about Prince back in the day. Come on.
And then you started to see a whole bunch of them. And next thing you know, everybody in your neighborhood was fighting and arguing and you didn't know why. Okay? And you really didn't know why. I mean...
I tried to show that one more time, that's all. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, you see, that's the reason I've been saying this in my past videos. You watch them. This is the reason that there are the chemtrails are the reason why, you know what I mean, everything, people acting weird, all this crime is going on, people shooting. He said people fighting each other. What's the difference? People shooting and killing each other. People getting mad over small stuff. Because it's no bright in our day. Our day is, you know, our energy full times is being chopped up, is being suppressed. Our source is being suppressed. Of course, this stuff is going to happen if your main source, the planet source, the plant source, the animal source is being suppressed. People need to start talking about it and fight. Give respect to the real people who's fighting the real war. Dr. Umar, Malcolm, and people who's alive is fighting the real war. Me. You know what I mean? Stop giving credit, you know what I mean, and you know what I mean, and your hard work and financial money to people who's not fighting, just running their mouth, talking about what we could do. You know what I mean? How much spaceships are out there, how many dimensions out there. Yeah, that's good, but that's nothing to do with the war right now that's going on. That's making people fight outside, like Prince said, or killing each other, like I said. Let's keep it real, if y'all real. Huh? Yeah. Stop supporting people who's just running their mouth. You know what I mean? I ain't saying stop supporting them, but you know what I mean? Stop giving all support to them. There should be the second people you want to support. Not the first people support, people like me, Prince, Umar Johnson. People who's fighting the war. Who's, you know what I mean, who's letting you know what's going on top of your heads, why what's, you know what I mean, going on and stuff. This is Mitchell Nugent. Send a cash app to someone who's fighting a war. $NUJISS. $NUJISS. Send someone a cash app. Warriors need funding. You know what I mean? We need funding to build, to help the animals, to fight the war for the ones who can't fight themselves, who, you know what I mean, to get, you know what I mean, to keep on speaking for them, who build for them, to get something started for them. Let's keep it real. Big things have small beginnings. Big things have small actions. See you next time. Did you hit in Anubis Temple? Mitchell Nugent.